Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video and another F1 Manager 2022 game news video. Yes, we're here with some more from earlier from the trailer as well, and there's a couple of articles that are attached. Now this was actually streamed live on their Twitch. They have a Twitch channel now as well, so that's something that Codemasters or EA didn't think about, is the Twitch community. But you know, this is a game that is probably going to be more live streamed than Codemasters will be streaming. F1 22 really. But anyway, without a doubt then let's get into the trailer as well. And straight away, just look how beautiful this game is. I don't know what engine they're using. I think it's Unreal. I thought it was Unreal, but I don't actually know if it is or not. It might just be their own engine, which I think it is. I can't remember about that. But yeah, you know, this is Australia, obviously. Just, you know, this is a manager game. Look at the detail they've gone to. It's like you're expecting to be able to race around here. It looks that good. As well, this is the pits as well, and they've even got some cutscenes as well. And we've got choose your team as well. So you know, I did mention that I didn't think there'd be many cutscenes in the previous video. I stand corrected. It looks like there are a few cutscenes after all, as well as Five Lights. Then look, this is on board, which by the way, when you're racing, you can go on board with all 20 drivers. You don't have to pick a driver. A bit like with Motorsport Manager, you can follow any driver as well. But obviously, you most likely stick to your own drivers as well. But now, unlike Motorsport Manager all those years ago, where you just followed in a sort of far down view, the semi 3D version, now you've got T-Cam, you've got the broadcast options as well, like this. You can see, look at you've even got proper crashes. That's more realistic crashes than Codemasters have with their physics model, where, you know, if somebody crashes into you from the right hand side, the left hand side part of your wing falls off as well. But yes, here's a race strategy as well, and we've got the option to change the strategy as well. You can see each driver has a driver rating as well. I explained this in the previous video I did, so if you haven't missed any of the series so far, I recommend you go and check that out. So looks like you've got the strategy, the car and the track as well, and then you've got, I presume this is racing, so you can obviously use stuff, and obviously the window. You can see I presume this is the percentage chance of rain, and then the conditions. One thing that Motorsport Manager did, it showed you how much grip the track was, but I guess that was in more qualifying than the race, I think it was, if I remember rightly. But there was that option, I think, in the race to see how much track grip there was. You know, but obviously this is one-stop strategy from medium to hard as well. And then you obviously got the option to change that strategy, the current pace target. Not quite as extravagant then as Motorsport Manager, where you had both tyres and fuel. But of course this is F1. In Motorsport Manager, you didn't have a maximum fuel limit because it wasn't an official licensed F1 game, whereas obviously in F1 Manager it is. So I mean, this is a nice thing. Obviously you can add an extra stint should we need to, as well, stint start, and change the stint starting lap as well, change the tyres. Obviously tyre wear upgrades will be addition. Is that somebody having a puncture as well by the looks of it? There's obviously some cutscenes for there. We've got look at the details here. This is beautiful, and of course they've got all the car models, I think, updated as well. Now, certainly in this gameplay trailer, whether or not they're probably just adding the final bits to it potentially, as well. Obviously, they're probably going to update the performance between now and the release date, which we'll get to that release date shortly. But obviously, you've got there's a lot more detail here in R&D with the amount of I've forgotten what this KN means. To be honest, it's been that long since I did any sort of science at school as well. But basically, you can improve. It shows you how much you can improve your car, airflow sensitivity, DRS, obviously as well. So it gives to that statistics which is lacking. I feel I mean having this in the F1 game for R&D, would allow to plan upgrades better. But for this, you can see, okay, our car is weak in this area. What can I do to improve that car? This is just one example, improving the rear wing. Obviously, there's going to be another thing. Obviously, there might be an effect. If you improve higher speed, then you're going to be worse in lower speed corners, etc., etc. As well, and obviously, there another cutscene there. That thing, you've got a little bit of the email system. Pierre Wachi, is that it? Bottled his name as well. Our engineers have finished building the new Red Bull 20 RB22-2. Is it called? It's not called that. Is it called that? I don't know. I can't remember what it is. The sassy name's cool, but whatever it is. And obviously you've got stuff like race collect, the testing as well, results. So in-season testing is a thing, which is nice to see. Sponsor obligations as well there, as well. And then there's, can't quite see what there's, something about paying staff, I think that is, as well. You then got the design complete, and it's now ready to be manufactured. As well, obviously these are the original teams. This is Baku as well, obviously where we're going as well. I don't know what data there. Here we got some actual in-game gameplay. Then, as you can switch between the drivers, a little bit. They've updated obviously the to match similar to the change for real life. As well, obviously Hamilton leading, not quite realistic. Gasly and Tsunoda will be a little bit further down, with Bottas a lot further up. But there we go. You've got pace commands as well. Obviously, attack, aggressive, standard, light, and conserve, which were actually pretty similar to Motorsport Manager. Also had those 5 things. I think I only had 4 on one of the. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played Motorsport Manager as well. But obviously, you can see the pace, the fuel, how much ERS they've got to spend. So there's a whole load of statistics here as well. And obviously, you've got the track temperatures. You can see the data here of all the standings as well. Is this a qualifying view? Do we think? No, it's not. It's a race view, but obviously you can see sponsors reports and whatnot as you go through, and then able to watch overtakes as well on board or rear view. Oh, and there's a Spinala for the McLaren. And then you've got executing your strategy. Watching the pit crew as well. So the races are looking very good. You're going to be racing on board with everyone, and you can, as I said earlier, you can go on board with everyone, or you can watch in the broadcast motion. You've got cutscenes, you've got podium celebrations there as well, and that pretty much is the 1:48 trailer that is now. It's available from the 25th of August, but only if you order. I think there's something about ordering through F1 Manager, the websites. You have to order through them. Otherwise, you get 10% off and 5 days early access. Now, it's a bit weird because the 25th is the Thursday before well, in the UK it's a bank holiday that weekend. It's August bank holiday, which categorically means that it's going to rain that weekend. Well, otherwise, if you don't, it's the 30th. I think if you also order through the PlayStation Store, you need that PS Pro thingy as well. Remember, of course, it's an F1, F2, and F3 licensed product, but we already knew that as well. So yes, I'm going to quickly move to the article and also some in-game screenshots that have also been added to the website. So here's a couple of screenshots. We've pretty much seen most of this already. Important email though. Driver ratings are not final. Hamilton 82, Russell 80. We haven't seen everything. Obviously, Mercedes a little bit unrealistic with Mercedes dominating, but there we go. I'm sure the performance will also get a final work upon. Probably might get a post launch to. Because Codemasters and EA, I'm sure they'll be launching with the post. I'm pretty sure actually that whatever's there now will be on the game in the end of the month, in 21 days' time. As well, this is obviously an in-game screenshot. We are riding with Norris. I think we're a McLaren. You've got the two drivers down the bottom here, as well. And yes, we're looking for maximum attack, especially as we're under threat by a driver that doesn't seem to have a driver number on. I wonder, hopefully they've scanned in all the driver numbers, because otherwise it's going to slightly ruin the effect really, as well. Look at the spray as well. This looks a lot better than Codemasters EA game, and this is a manager game, the one you're not driving in. It looks a hell of a lot better. I think they've done a little bit of work with the spray, because obviously had that wet weather test, so they probably went there and looked, okay, this is how much spray is coming off the car, let's try and replicate that in the game. Something that I feel that Codemasters and EA do very poorly is the wet weather as well. Then we've got our rear wing again. We saw a little bit this earlier. We've got the Alpine front wing as well, which I don't know if that is a generic front wing or not, because I'm not that I don't have that much knowledge on a design at front wing as well. And yes, that's it for the screenshots there. Show rank on grid as well, and obviously remember you've got both cars, not just one to improve. And I'll just finally quickly finish with this this page. Again, I'll leave links to all of this in the description below, but you can see here, I don't know if this is going to be some sort of chat, the box art or something, the game art or something. There's not actually a lot here, but that we don't already know. But obviously August the 25th, the official launch is August the 30th, and you can also get that discount as I mentioned. As well, you can drive, as you know, as a 10% through multiple years in development, in close partnership with F1. This has been going on. We think this has been developed for 3 years, as well. Now, I'll just quickly mention, because there's not really a lot in this article. We haven't seen much about voting on regulations. Scouting's been a little vague. As well, as I said, I'll leave an I think, as I said already, to the playlist, so you can go and check out as well. But obviously you've got the option to F2, F3, and so on. You've got to click this link here to pre-order to get the 10% discount, and then to have access to the complete game of August the 25th. I haven't checked this out yet, but I presume that that will then link with whatever it is, PlayStation, Steam, Xbox. I think it's also something else that is also available in as well. So yes, just ending on some FAQs. There's an FAQ section. As I said, you're able to preload, which is pretty much most games nowadays preload. whether or not it'll be like the F1 game has been for the past couple of years, ever since they've had that, the 2 different versions. The extra version has actually unlocked itself the day before as well. It's actually, for a game that looks that good, it's cheap. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than the F1 22 game as well. So, and if you're getting a 10% discount off as well, that's a lot cheaper, because you're getting £4 off there. So that's a £40 game, which for what we've seen so far, that's good value for money. I mean, the gameplay looks good from what we've seen so far. As well, as I mentioned, you need that PlayStation Plus subscription to get on PS and PS4, and we've got some specifications as well. For Intel, which probably won't do so well with my CPU, which is aging as well. So yes, that's pretty much it that I've got for today. As well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 Manager 22 game news and indeed gameplay when the game launches on August the 25th or August the 30th as well. I'll try and load it from the 25th as well. So until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.